Today we're going to be building an awesome RTX 4060 build for 700 bucks in a white colorway. This build is going to look sick. Yo, what's up guys? NT for Creator, hope all is well. This will be a complete build guide, so if you've never built a PC before, you have come to the right place. You are in good hands. Every single part used for this build is linked in the video description. We break down the build guides into 3 parts. So first, we're gonna go over all the parts and their prices as we unbox them. Second, we're gonna jump into the build guide. And like I said, I don't care if you've never built a PC before, this guide will be beginner friendly. I'm gonna guide you the whole step of the way from start to finish. By the end of this video, you will have the confidence you need to build your very first rig if this is the first one you're working on. And then third, at the end, the fun part, we're gonna put this build to the test against popular esports titles and popular AAAs. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. At the end of the video, we frag it out. We're gonna see exactly how this build performs, and you guys are gonna see exactly how this build's gonna come out as far as looks, because this one today is gonna look really, really cool. I like the case we're using. Anyways, guys, let's jump into it. So first, the RTX 4060 that we went with, this is an MSI Ventus 2x in the white colorway. Let's open it up, and here it is. Boom, and it looks sick. It has a white backplate. If we take a look at the front, I like the way that the silver looks with the white. It has a good contrast. This card looks sick. The video ports it's rocking, same as usual, 3 display ports, 1 HDMI. Gonna perform awesome. It looks awesome. We're pairing the RTX 4060 with the very popular Ryzen 5 5600X. It comes included with a stock heatsink, so no need to worry about that. The cooler is included with the CPU. We've used this CPU in a lot of different builds here on the channel, and for good reason. For the money, nothing really comes close to the Ryzen 5 5600X in terms of performance. It's a great CPU. It's gonna perform great with our RTX 4060. You'll see the performance at the end of the video. That is why we chose it. And for the motherboard, we're gonna be rocking the B450 chipset. This is the Micro-ATX board. This is one of my favorite boards. Let's take a look at our board. This board has 4 RAM slots. It has 1 M.2 slot. And for the ports, it has a good amount of USB 3 ports. I'm also gonna get the I/O shield out of the box and the M.2 screws for our M.2 SSD later on. For the RAM, 16 gigabytes of CORSAIR Vengeance 3200 megahertz RAM, classic RAM at a good price. For the storage, we chose a KingSpec 512 gigabyte M.2 SSD. If you're gonna be installing a lot of games, I recommend you up this to 1 terabyte. We chose 512 to stay within budget. And what's gonna power our build? We're gonna be using an ARESGAME 650 watt bronze rated power supply. Let's open it up. This power supply has all the cables connected to it, and 650 watts is plenty of juice for our build here today. Get the power cable out, and now I get to show you guys the case. I chose it because it looks sick in the pictures. So this is a Zalman case in the Micro-ATX form factor, so perfect size for our motherboard. And here it is, guys. What do you think? It has a unique look on the side right here. This case has super good airflow, all opened up right here, good vents. This case comes included with 3 pre-installed RGB LED fans, and then it has 1 RGB LED fan right here in the back. So 4 pre-installed fans in this case. Tempered glass panel, seals by just magnets. For the ports, it's rocking. 2 USB 3s, 1 USB 2, power button of course, and that's all the essential parts we're using for the build here today. Everything will be linked in the video description. Now we're gonna jump into the optional parts list, simply for aesthetics, not required, but I like to throw Funko Pop in every single build to give it character. We're gonna be using a Star Wars Imperial Death Trooper. It's gonna look sick in there. Next, we're gonna be using our brand Creator power supply extension cables in the white colorway. The reason we use these is instead of having the stock power supply cables on display in the front of the build, we're gonna have our beautiful custom white power supply cables on display in the front of the build instead, and it's gonna look so much better. We're also gonna be using our Creator RGB LED Strip kit, 2 strips, strong magnetic attachments, all the other cables you need to wire it to the motherboard. And I throw this in every build because it gives it a big splash of light inside the case. You could change it to any color you want with software on your desktop, and it's gonna make your components stand out a lot more. Makes the build look so much better as well. Okay, so that's it. That's all the parts we're using today. Now time to jump into the build guide. Let's do it. And we'll be fragging up at the end of the video in no time. First, we're gonna be installing our CPU inside the motherboard CPU socket. So if we take a closer look at our Ryzen 5 5600X, we're gonna find a golden arrow right here on the bottom left-hand side of it. And if we take a look at the CPU socket on our motherboard, there's going to be an arrow on the top left side. So we're gonna get this lever, pull it to the side and lift it all the way up. And then we're gonna line up the golden arrow of the Ryzen CPU with the arrow on the CPU socket. And then hover it right over and let it drop right into place. And then it should look just like that. What you don't wanna do is you don't wanna push it and force it in, because then you'll bend the pins in the back of the CPU, which you don't wanna do. And just let it drop right into place, just like that. And now we're going to put the lever back to its original position. Next, we need to unscrew these 4 screws to remove these 2 things. Now it's time to install our stock AMD heatsink. Thermal paste is already pre-applied, so no need to worry about that. All we need to do is line up the 4 points with the 4 points on the motherboard. Lay it over with the AMD text on the left. So I just lay it right on there. There you go, it's lined up. And now I'm ready to screw it in. So I'm gonna screw in one of the ends first. Once I get it to attach, I move across and secure the other screw, just get it to attach. So I'm doing it in a crisscross pattern to maintain even pressure. Now the other two, that one's attached and this one's attached. Because if you screw one of the sides in too much in the beginning, the other sides are gonna lift up and it's gonna be hard to then get them down and secure. Okay, so now all sides are screwed in a bit, and now I will finish off the other side and just keep turning till your screwdriver stops. And there you go, my screwdriver has stopped. It will not let you over tighten this. And the side across, turning till my screwdriver stops, and the final two. That side's done. Done. Okay, now we need to connect the CPU heatsink fan to the motherboard. Right here, it's labeled CPU fan. It's a gray fan header, and it should look just like that, guys. CPU installed. Next, we're gonna be installing our RAM kit. Okay, RAM installation, very easy as well. They only go in one way into the RAM slots. You wanna make sure you line the indented part of the RAM with the part on the RAM slot that's not indented. We're going to be installing our RAM into the 2nd and 4th RAM slots so the RAM could run in dual channel. So I have the Vengeance text on the left side. I'm gonna line it up by putting it in on both sides, and then I'm gonna push down with both thumbs equal force. And the RAM stick's gonna go all the way down, and this lever will lift back up and you will hear the click. So I'm going to put the RAM into the slot, get it in there, push down both thumbs equal force. RAM slot goes in all the way, both sides, lever lifts back up. Done, RAM installed. And it should look like that. We're moving fast. Now it's time to install our M.2 SSD. KingSpec 512 gigabytes. And this little guy is gonna go into our M.2 SSD slot. So when we put it in, it only goes in one way. We just push it into there. But you're gonna notice that we need to add a standoff right here for our M.2 SSD. The bag we got out earlier from our motherboard. Gonna come with the standoff and the screw. Screw in the standoff into the 2nd point right here. We're gonna screw this standoff into the 2nd point, just like that. And now when we put in our M.2 SSD and we lay it down, it's gonna sit on the standoff. Now we're gonna be using the small 0 screwdriver to secure our M.2 SSD. And there we go. All right, guys, now we're ready to secure our motherboard inside our case. I'm gonna get both the panels off and back. Inside our case is where you're gonna find the accessories, like all the screws we need. Set that to the side. All right, guys, so when installing any motherboard inside of your case, you wanna make sure that all the points of the motherboard line up with the standoffs inside of the case. So we're gonna need to make sure that all the standoffs are in the Micro-ATX layout for our motherboard. And by looking inside of here, we're gonna need to add 2 additional motherboard standoffs before we secure our motherboard. So let's do that real quick. Get all the screws out of the bag. I'm gonna set them in here, and we wanna get our standoff, which looks like this. We're gonna secure it using a 5mm nut driver. If you don't have this tool, I'll link it in the video description. First standoff goes right here. Got ourselves another standoff. That one goes here. Okay, so all the standoffs that were in this case already, we're gonna circle them red. And the 2 new ones that we added are circled yellow. A total of 8 standoffs. Now we can secure our motherboard. First, install our I/O shield. So you wanna make sure that the 3 circles are on the bottom, and we're gonna lay it right here on the side of our case. We're gonna make sure we clip in all 4 sides of the I/O shield into the back of the case. Just like that. This is what's gonna cover the gaps in between the ports of our motherboard. All right, guys, ready to secure our board. So we're gonna get it in here, and I'm going to first line up all the ports of the motherboard with the I/O shield. So I'm gonna make sure everything lines up good. Once all the ports are lined up with the I/O shield, then I lay the motherboard down. And I want to line it up with the standoff. So there we go, that middle one is lined up, and all of them are lined up. And you wanna make sure that when you lay your motherboard down, make sure the cables of this fan are not underneath the board, okay? We're gonna be using this screw to secure our motherboard. I'll start with the middle standoff. So I'm just gonna push our board to my left so it could line up with the middle standoff and secure it. And now we're gonna tighten down the remaining standoffs. All right, our motherboard's fully secure now. Let's go over it. We're gonna circle red all the points that we screwed in. A total of 8. All right, guys, we're now ready to install our power supply inside of our case. We wanna make sure that the fan of the power supply is facing down. So we're gonna slide it into here behind our case. Then we're gonna line it up, secure it with 4 screws that come with the case and the power supply. All right, our power supply is secure. Now it's time to start hooking up our cables. We're gonna break all our cables down into 3 groups. Very simple. So the first group of cables is all our power supply cables, which power things. Our second group of cables is all our case cables, which connect things like the power button and the USB ports of the case to our motherboard. And then our third and final group of cables is all our fans and lighting of our PC. All right, guys, so let's kick it off with our power supply cables. I'm gonna hook up some of our power supply extensions real quick. So we're only gonna be hooking up 2 power supply extensions. So the first one is the big 24 pin. So we're gonna locate the big 24-pin cable of our power supply. Originally, this would hook up to the motherboard. Instead, it's now going to hook up to our extension all the way, make sure it clips. And now the extension's gonna hook up to our motherboard instead and will be on display in the front. It's gonna look way better than just having this in the front. Next cable we're gonna hook up is the cable that's gonna power our RTX 4060. So this is a 8-pin cable, which is split 6 plus 2. So we're gonna wanna find the graphics card power cable from our power supply, which is this right here. And it's labeled PCI Express. So it has 2 8-pins attached to it. We're only gonna be using 1. And as you can tell, this cable also splits into 6 plus 2 for a total of 8. So when looking for the right extension to hook up to a cable, that's how you can tell. 6 plus 2. And this extension is also 6 plus 2. So now we're gonna hook up the other end of the extension, right? That's all together into the end of the power cable for the graphics card from the power supply. Have it click in. Instead of connecting this to our 4060, we now are going to hook up this end. It's gonna look awesome. Okay, now we're ready to start hooking up cables. Kicking it off with the first group of cables, the power supply cables. First power cable we're plugging in is our big 24-pin power cable. So you wanna make sure that the clip of our 24-pin cable hooks up back here. So we're gonna line it up straight and then push it in all the way till it clips. And it should look like that. So much better than if we use the stock power supply cable. Go ahead and go to the top left of the board. This is where we're gonna hook up our CPU power cable. Find the CPU power cable. It is labeled from our power supply. We're gonna wire it to the front. And as you can see, it's labeled CPU and it also has a clip. We're going to make sure that that clip clips on the left side. I'm gonna first line it up straight to get it in there and then push in all the way till it clips. Done. CPU is powered. And that's it for our power supply cables. For now, we're gonna plug in the RTX 4060 power cable later. Moving on to the second group of cables, are case cables. There's metal ties back here securing the cables together and to the case, so get rid of all the metal ties. These metal ties could touch your component and short them, so do not risk it, get rid of all the metal ties. First case cable we're hooking up is our HD audio cable. It only goes in one way, plugs in right here. So with the HD audio text facing up. So we're gonna line it up straight and then push it in all the way. There we go. Next cable is our USB 2 cable. Also only goes in one way with the USB text facing down. It's gonna plug in right here. So line it up straight, push it in all the way. Done. Next is our USB 3 cable. Notice how it has a hump right there. So that hump is gonna be facing down, plugging into this right here. So I'm going to line it up straight and then push it in. Always line it up straight and then push in. Next, we're gonna hook up our little JFP1 cables. We're throwing up a chart up on the screen to help us. We're gonna plug in these cables into these pins right here. So starting off with our HDD LED cable, if we turn it around, you're gonna find an arrow. The arrow is the positive side. So we're gonna plug in this cable into the second row of pins, first and second pin with the arrow, aka positive, on the left side. There we go. Now for our power LED cable, positive again on the left side. This plugs in right on top of the cable we just hooked up. So these are going to plug into the first row of pins, first and second pin with positive on the left side. So positive on the first pin and the negative one on the second pin of the first row of pins. So it should look like that. Sat right on top of HDD LED. And now final JFP1 cable is our power switch. This is going to hook up right next to power LED, what we just plugged in, into the first row of pins, third and fourth pins. This one does not matter as far as positive and negative. And that's done. Easy. Now moving on to our third and final group of cables, our fans and our lighting. So we're going to be using a 2-way fan splitter. I'll link this in the video description. So we're going to hook up this fan splitter to our chassis fan 2 header right here. So I'm gonna hook it up. And what the splitter does is it now gives us, instead of 1 input for our fan, we now have 2 inputs for our fans. 2-way fan splitter. I'm gonna wire the splitter to the back of the case. Now let's go over our fans. This is the fan controller right here. The lighting capabilities of all 4 of the fans are hooked up to the fan controller. These are the 4 fans right here, already plugged in for us. So what we're looking for right now is not the lighting capabilities of the fans, but the actual fans themselves. So for the fan back here, the cable for that fan is just located right here. So we're gonna plug in our back fan to the splitter. So now our back fan is hooked up to the motherboard. And now for the 3 fans in the front of our case, already come connected in a chain system right here. 1, 2, 3. So all we have to do is hook up the end of this chain to the splitter. And now all 3 front fans are hooked up to our motherboard as well. So we're now done hooking up all the fans to our motherboard. Next, the lighting of the fans. Get these cables from our fan controller. We need to add power to the lighting fan controller through SATA. So we're gonna get a SATA power cable from our power supply and simply hook it up to the fan controller. There we go. So now the lighting fan controller has power and all the fans now are gonna light up. Now to change the lights of the fan, we go to the top of our case and you're gonna see an LED button. You click this to cycle through the colors of the 4 fans installed inside of our case. Now moving on to the installation of our CORSAIR RGB LED strips. I've already made a separate video on how to install these, so this will just be a quick time lapse. All right, guys, and now the fun part. Time to install our RTX 4060. Oh yeah, baby. Going to go right here. Make sure you get rid of the cover. All right, I'm gonna take off the protective film. We need to make room for our card. Remove the second and the third brackets. Bend this in like this, and we need to go down and up on this piece of metal. That will loosen it, and then it just comes right off. Now be careful not to scratch anything on your motherboard here when you're doing this. Up, down, and there you go. It's out of there. Now we're gonna undo this right here. Now you wanna make sure the lever on the PCI slot is all the way back like that. We now line up our 4060 with our PCI slot, and once we have it in there, we then simply push in all the way till our card goes in all the way, and that will lift back up, and now our 4060 is in. Now time to secure with 2 screws that came with the case. Done, beautiful. Now time to give it juice. I'm gonna wire 8-pin graphics card power cable to the front of our case. We're gonna get these two together. Now make sure it clips on top. And there we go. That came out awesome. Super clean. We did it again. All right, guys, now it's time for the final touches and then first boot up. I'm gonna throw the Funko Pop in there and cable manage the back. Time lapse. All right, guys, I'm gonna get the lights off and turn on the system for the first time. Plugging in the power, flip the power supply on, boom, and bam, and it's alive. Let's do the peel. Super clean. Those strips add a lot of light. The 4 fans are adding tons of light. Nice little contrast with our Funko Pop. It's a black and white theme going on here, and it looks sick. That's how the inside looks. I know that it's hard to see what's inside of here because the tempered glass side panel is dark, but in person you can clearly see all the components inside. Boom, look at the front right there. Remember, we can change the color of this by pressing the LED button up here. And as far as the strips go, they're fully customizable with software in our desktop. But yeah, guys, this came out super sick for 700 bucks. We just built an RTX 4060 system with a white colorway. Amazing performance for the money, and we're about to find out when we put this guy to the test. Well, awesome, guys. If this was your first build and you were following along, congrats. Hope you have a blast with your new rig. Remember, if your budget is a little higher or a little lower, we made tons of build guides on the channel, so be sure to check out the previous build guides for a video that suits your needs. All right, guys, now before we can start putting this guy to the test, we need to install an operating system, Windows 11. I made a video on how to install Windows 11 from a USB flash drive for free. That video is linked in the video description. Then we need to install all the drivers. I also made a video on what to do after you're done building the PC, linked in the video description. And now, the fun part, it's time to frag it up. We're gonna put this guy to the test. Let's do it. Settings for Call of Duty Warzone 2, 1080p resolution. For the quality settings, DLSS is set to quality, and here are the rest of the settings. And for view, max FOV 120, and that stuff is off. Let's do it. Box. Oh, is that a box? Yes, that's a box. Oh my! No! I'm back in that bag again. I'm back in that. Yeah. Back in that. Hey. Back in that bag again. Don't bring me around your friends. You know that I'm bagging them. Request me on Facebook. No, I ain't adding them. Positions I had her in. Hit from the back. That bitch is splattering. Calling her friend. Tell her pull up. Word. Let's make it a gathering. They love that baby. Nah, I'm Matic now, but she loving the splash again. I just cashing in. Boom, son. What the heck, dude? That. Oh my. Back again. I feel like Aladdin, yeah. I'm on the carpet right now. You made it to the top 10. I'm back in that. Yeah. No! I'm back in that. We placed 4th place. We were close, guys. Performance was good. RTX 4060 currently only at 99% utilization. So gameplay was nice and smooth. Very good. Unfortunately, we lost. Next one. Settings for Rainbow Six Siege. 1080p res. Max FOV. Here are the graphic settings. Let's do it. Damn it, man. Bruh. Finally took me down. Nice. What? I was only gone for like 40 seconds. I had to leave because my doorbell. Prestige performance is great. Next one. Settings for Valorant, 1080p resolution, Nvidia reflexes on plus boost. Here is the graphics quality. Let's do it. Valorant deathmatch. Hardcore. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hit fire time. What? Ooh, that was... Trying to get a good no scope, man. There you go. Oh, again! Cool flick time, cool flicks time. Give me the health, give me the health. My goodness, that was so beautiful. No scope, no scope. No! Alright, performance for Valorant was obviously frames up to the sky, man. No surprise there. Next one. Settings for Apex Legends, 1080p res, enabled plus boost for Nvidia reflex, and here are the rest of the settings. Let's do it. Alright guys, here we go. Oh my, why aren't you playing? He just moved. Whoa. Wait, when did we start losing that much? Okay, we gotta try now. One up. 1 minute remaining. Oh crap, it's getting real now. I'm gonna give him a free kill right now. Uh-oh. Dude, I don't know how we lost that, man. Thought we were doing good. We lost, but the performance was good. We had a lot of frames. Next one. Settings for Rust, 1080p res. Graphic settings, here they are. Let's do it. Get inside the objective. All right, guys, let me get on. All right, man, let's go. Steady. Holy hell, what did you do? Holy hell. Oh, shoot! Oh, shoot! What's up, losers? Uh-oh. No, wait! Brother! Brother, wait for me, brother!
Bye, have a great time.
I don't even know how to get off this thing, bro. Oh. Ooh. Ah, go back to where you came. Ooh. Ah, no! Settings for Helldivers 2, 1080p resolution, and with the graphics quality, here it is, guys. Let's do it. All right, guys. Performance right now, we're at 100 FPS. Not bad. Let's go kill some alien monsters, whatever these things are called. It's only my second time playing Helldivers 2. I already forgot how to keep mine. I don't know how to do anything. Just no nade at these guys. Oh, perfect nade. Oh my god! It's fun too, man. I'm not kidding, I got stuck there. I'm not even playing around, right? I know it looked like intentional, I got stuck. What the heck? Oh, thought I died. Alright, Helldivers 2 ran decent. Next one. Settings for PUBG, 1080p res. Here are the advanced graphics settings. Let's do it. Alright, here we go. First to 50 kills wins. Best out of 3 rounds. Let's go. 10 out of 10, let's go. Oh my goodness! Ah! There we go. One more. Oh crap. Oh, we got them with the nade. Ow! Later, meet your maker, punk. Oh. Fudge. Oh, fudge. Oh, it's a tie. Ooh, victory! Ooh. Performance was amazing, may I add. Next one. Settings for Counter-Strike 2, 1080p res for the advanced video, reflexes on enable plus boost. Here are the rest of the settings. Let's do it. Wait, where was he, on the bridge?
Wait.
Don't worry, I better not. I'm about to win us our second round.
All right.
New beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup.
Oh!
Clean soul, good karma is a must. Get my shooter in the cup.
What
I
the?
was stuck inside a rut. Played the game, made bank, OG. Anything to get a buck. You won't find me in the club. I'm in the lab trying to sharpen up the sword, swinging.
Yeah, dream team, baby, yeah!
Bucks to the light, damn right. It was like these raps, I don't really got a type. Off top bullshit, all I knew was a mic. Pass the rock, it's all butter. Pack your bags and take flight, don't worry, it's all covered. Hey, live your life while you can, our days are all numbered. Rain can cause thunder, but the sun comes after, clearing up the disaster. Isn't it lovely? I ain't looking back at me. Everybody days a number, but I'm still here luckily. I know the guy got me so I'm in good company.
Good job. What the f?
Come on, Blue. Help. Behind you.
So take it from me, I got some places I should take you to see. You know it's easy when you ride with a G. Light speed, moving fast through the city, trying to find me some peace. I finally lived to be the guy that I was dying to be. Still I got some trust issues.
Oh, to tie it? Alright guys, CSGO performance amazing. Next game. Settings for Red Dead Redemption 2. We have the resolution at 1080p, reflexes on enabled plus boost. Here are the rest of the settings. Let's do it. Game looks pretty decent. Look at that GPU utilization though. That's what I like to see. Getting all the power out of our RTX 4060. What up, man?
You wanna go hunting? So you still ain't replaced Boadicea?
Nah, I miss her. She was quite a horse.
Some beautiful saddles. I used to have a real nice one.
Yeah, what happened to that?
Well, you're in the right place. I got some beauties in at the moment. Otherwise, I can always stable them here for you.
Don't want this one. Alright, fine, I'll buy you. I thought if I stabled him, I'd be able to keep the other horse, the original horse. Oh, okay, this horse is surprisingly fast. This is a beautiful game, man. Wow, look at this. Performance staying steady at 100. I know that this game has an amazing story. Stay still! My sensitivity's not right. What the? Skin it just like that, huh? Delicious and nutritious. All right, guys, next one. Settings for Forza Horizon 5, 1080p res. Here are the DLSSAI super resolution setting, set to quality. And for the graphics, boom. Here's our graphics settings, guys. Let's do it. All right, here we go, man. Bro, get out of the way, my guy. Oh, fudge nuggets. Fudge nuggets. Chill out, yo. All right. Come on. No. Fudge nugget. No. Guys, one more time. This car just overreacts. Wanted to benchmark a racing game for you guys. I need to get the simulators going, though, man. Get out of my way. Oh my goodness, we hit a nice little drift right there, boys. Catching up to these suckers. Oh, what is that? man? What on God's green? I need a racing simulator game. Performance is amazing. Look at that GPU utilization. 98%, that's what we like to see. 200 FPS on Forza Horizon 5. Awesome. All right, guys, that's a wrap for our Beast RTX 4060 build. This performed amazing. I'll catch you guys in the next build guide, which is right around the corner. We're popping out the guides like eggs out of a hen. All right, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching till then. Appreciate all your guys' support. Peace.